Okay, so when we last left off, we had just gotten the uh, ingredients from this dryad here for a potion that supposedly we will need in order to save the day. Um, if I'm being perfectly honest, from here, I could probably finish the game in somewhere between 20 and 40 minutes. Um, but, like I said before, I'm going to try and be a little um, better about that. This, if we remember from before, is an Antwerp. It's being very loud. By golly, it's an Antwerp. Antwerps are on the endangered species list. They are rarely seen. Um, if you attempt to attack this Antwerp, it'll bounce away, fly off into space, and you will feel safe until you step on any other screen, and it will come down and crash right on top of you and kill you. And that is essentially an end game scenario. So if you try to harm this thing, game essentially is over. However, you can just walk towards it, and it will angrily move, or I believe you can just give it some food, and it would be happy with that. So let's continue over here and see what's going on, and hopefully avoid any fights, because I don't want to deal with these guys yet. And we'll find you have a bad feeling about this place. You have an even worse feeling about this place. Now, if we try to walk forward, we definitely die. If we just stand here, we also might die sooner or later. So this right here is the entrance to the Brigands' hideout. The actual entrance is back there. And so obviously this, if we ever want to try and get in there, would not be a great way to go. So let's run away! And if you come over here, you will very frequently encounter Brigands to battle. Which, let's see, nope, definitely don't want to do that without any magic. So run away. We are unlikely to do well against a Brigand as a magic user who is not very good at combat right now. That is not going to go well for us. Alright, let's continue on. I don't really remember where we are. We ran away too quickly. This must be the town graveyard. What a run-down place. Certainly creepy here even during the daylight hours. This. The red root growing out of one of the graves has a strange and evil appearance. So if you remember, we talked to the healer about type of root, mandrake root in particular. However, we do not want to try and pull it up right now because we're in the middle of the day. Here lies Lester Moore, gored 6 times by a wild boar. No less, no more. Fair enough. And we'll learn more about that mandrake root later. Forget what happens if you try to pull it early, whether or not it will eventually grow back, but I prefer not to find out. Day is dark. Okay. So we will venture into town, chat with this guy who is named Carl. My name is Carl. Castle. This is the castle of Baron Stefan von Spielburg. What's your job? Stable keeper could use a strong young person to help clean out the stables. It's a good way to make just a little bit of money and train your strength and vitality a little bit. Does not pay much, but it is good, honest work. Although if your stamina is low enough, I believe it can kill you. If you would like to take on the job, come on in. Stable. Cleaning up after the horses is a good way to build up your muscles. Baron. My lord sees no one since the loss of his son and daughter. Loss. 10 years ago, the Baron's daughter Elsa was stolen away by magic. 5 years back, the Baronet Bernard von Spielburg went on a hunt from which he did not return. This was all clearly part of Baba Yaga's curse. Oops. Let's go back. Elsa. Elsa von Spielberg was a lovely young child with braided blonde hair and bright blue eyes like her mother, the Baroness, used to have. A large winged creature flew over the castle walls, grabbed Elsa, and vanished before the guards could fire upon it. We searched everywhere for her, but to no avail. I don't think we ever find out any more about this large winged creature that he talks about. Even the jester Yorick joined the search for her. The Baron sent a troop of guards to storm Baba Yaga's hut, but I think their skulls sit atop her fence. Elsa von Spielburg would be about 18 now. Hut. Baba Yaga has her hut in the northwest. It is a very dangerous place, and many baronial guards have been lost there. The Baroness died soon after the birth of her daughter. The Baron still mourns her. Yorick. He was a very jolly fool who loved to laugh. He was devoted to Elsa and swore he would not return until Elsa was safe. Baba Yaga. This powerful ogress is the cause of all the Baron's misfortune. She is a vile creature who knows much magic. Curse. Baron ordered Baba Yaga to leave, and she first cursed the graveyard. When he then sent the baronial guards after her, only their captain returned to the castle. Captain spoke the words, "Hear me, O mighty Baron. Thou hast angered me, and thus you are cursed. All that ye value shall you lose. All that you treasure shall be taken from you," in a strange voice. Captain then dissolved into a pool of sticky blackness. Baba Yaga's her hut. Cool. Bernard. The Baronet Bernard von Spielburg was a proud young man, and had the dark hair and eyes of his father, the Baron. He rode off one morning, and his horse returned without him. The horse had been raked by the claws of some large animal. There is still a reward offered for the safe return of the Baronet, but I fear he is dead. Reward. For the safe return of the Baronet and Elsa von Spielburg of 50 gold. For the capture or death of the Brigand Warlock, there is a reward of 50 gold. The capture or death of the Brigand Leader, there's a reward of 50 gold. And the title of Hero of Spielburg. I feel like I would reward people more for the return of my children, but that's okay. Hero. Hero of the Realm of Spielburg is a title of respect and honor. A true hero can release this land from its curse using his intelligence and courage. Baba Yaga. August. Yeah, I've already heard about that. I've already heard about the curse. I've already heard about all of this. Guards. Baronet von Spielberg lost most of his guards trying to defeat Baba Yaga. Cool. Valley. Spielberg Valley was once a prosperous and peaceful place before the Baron lost his family. Now the Baron will not leave his castle and does not know the ruin this land has come to. Monsters. There are many foul creatures stalking the forest since the Baron has too few guards to protect the valley from them. Graveyard. Baba Yaga cursed the graveyard such that the dead cannot rest at night. One cannot go near the graveyard after dark without risking his own death unless one uses protection. I believe the healer told us about just such protection. Protection. There's an unguent you can purchase from the healer which protects against the dead that walk by night. I don't want to hear Baba Yaga anymore. I believe we've already asked about the brigands. Now, too few guards take out the brigands, which rob our people and drive away the traders. They hide somewhere near the edge of this valley. The brigands are protected by a magic user, and they have a shrewd leader. Sure. Leader of the brigands must be a good strategist. He has organized and led many raids, which result in much treasure and little loss on the part of the brigands. Without their leader, the brigands would soon flee. Not much is known about him, but he seems to use more magic potions and powders than spells. Treasure. Many merchants have been robbed by the brigands. There is a merchant in town who could tell you about his robbery. And that just about does it. So, in order to open the gates, we have to click on it. Just a minute while I raise the gate. Thanks, Carl. Now, there's not a lot to do in here. Later on, we'll approach the actual gates. We will avoid that for now. We can go over here and talk to a guard who is not too happy to see us. I'm not here to answer your stupid questions. Go talk to Carl the Gatekeeper, who talks to anyone about almost anything. I'll come over here. And and go to the stables. Something that can happen if you do this late enough in the day is you can essentially become trapped here. In which case you just have to wait overnight, and that could take quite a long time. Looking for some work? Yes. Good. Come in here and take a rake. Nothing better than a good hard day's work. Other than, not. I don't pay you to rest. Get to work now. I figure we get this 5 or 10 silvers maybe. Okay, come over here. Salmon hands you some coins and says, now you're 5 silvers richer. And we've spent a little bit of stamina, but our strength and vitality have gone up a little bit. Sounds like a good trade to me. And a couple hours have gone by. So, I was wondering if he would pop up. So, as a fighter, you have a lot more interest in this gentleman, but we will talk to him as well. Oops. Not sure what he said. It's fine though. I am the weapon master, expert swordsman and trainer. Cool. Let's see about the sword. Sword is the finest of all weapons. It requires an equal measure of skill and strength. Skills. The skills of the sword are thrust, swing, parry, and dodge. Timing of such actions is critical to the success of the fighter. Practice. Practice is the way to refine and improve one's skills. Please don't bore me, young adventurer. Ask me about something more interesting. So, if you have all 4 of the skills he mentioned, then he will train with you. However, as a magic user or as a thief, you do not have parry ability, nor do we have a shield. So it's really only the fighters who can practice with him. Fighting is both an art and a skill. It is a skill in the use of muscle, strength, and the agility of control. It is an art in outwitting and outmaneuvering the opponent. I am, of course, the skilled artiste. Do you fight? I am a skilled teacher as well as a skilled fighter. However, the combat style that I teach relies on the subtle alternation of strike and parry. As I observe that you have no skill in the use of parry, you would receive no benefit from my lesson. Never use a shield, it gets in the way of my agility of dodging. It is best used by those who are strong but not swift and agile. You definitely require a shield. Any opportunity to make fun of people. Brigands. Brigands fight remarkably well for riffraff who have not had the benefit of my training. They are cowards who like to hide behind their shields, but I must admit they do that well. This is very true. Should you find yourself face to face with one of the brigands, I suggest you mirror the techniques. Use parry or dodge until your opponent lowers his shield to attack, then strike before you can get a spear into attack position. So the brigands really are kind of supposed to be the second easiest opponent, I think, compared to just the goblins. But in reality, I find them to be one of the more difficult ones in this game, just because your timing really has to be pretty good to catch them when their shields are down. This is the castle of Baron von Spielburg. I am the weapon master of the castle. Congratulations. Sure. The Baron had the wisdom to recognize greatness when I presented myself, thus he made me weapon master. Bernard. The Baronet had some minor talent with weapons, but he was too impatient. If he had but listened and learned what I teach, he would never have been lost. How about Elsa? A bright child, for a girl. She used to watch me practice daily and question me constantly. Pity she was not born a boy. This guy. She would have made a talented swordsman if I had trained her. I could not demean myself, of course, to teach a mere girl. Guards. You will find them very skilled at fighting. After all, I am the one who trains all the guards at the castle. And the town. Please don't bore me. Ask me something more interesting. Excellent. So now we will leave because this guy sucks balls. Alrighty. How much cash do we have? Enough for the last spell? Excellent. So we need 30 silver, I believe, for the open spell. Oh, yes. What's in it for me? If you give me a silver, I might have a bit of info you can use. So we will talk to him later, but Bruno demands that we pay him, and I don't want to do that yet. Until we have some more cash. We also could check out the other half of town, but I'm not in any hurry. So you return to my shop. Ask me what you will, keep it to the point. Good. I didn't want to talk to you anyway. So we have Fetch and Flame, but now we want Open. So read the spell scroll. Spell is ingrained in your mind. Excellent. Now we have another spell at our disposal. And if we remember, the engraving on the stone at Arana's piece. We could check it now. We'll talk to the healer about the potion later. The engraving on the stone at Arana's piece mentioned opening it. And we were told that it will be impossible to do it through strength, but perhaps now that we have this open ability, maybe that will be enough. So this is an opening door. Dun, dun, dun. The scroll vanishes even as you read the magical runes upon it. You now have the knowledge to cast a calm spell. So yet another spell at our disposal. Stone has moved. Took the scroll. Okay. I think we're a little early, but I think I'll end this recording right now and then continue with some things in our next video. We'll see you then.